Well, that's the thing, though. I mean, you said the journey has been weaving, but we know that the journey is usually rather circuitous, never a straight line. But I'm kind of curious, Dove, because you're born in the rough side of town, and I can definitely relate to that. And I can relate to you at 14 deciding, hey, I'm out of here, and I kind of made a similar decision around about that age. I don't know if I've ever found an answer for myself. Maybe I need to dig a little deeper. But what was it? What do you think in your head, in your mind, your heart, your soul that triggered that decision, that set you apart from your peers?
Well, I know specifically what it was. I know the two catalytic factors. One was when I was 10 years old, I walked into the living room and I saw my mom crying, and I didn't know why she was crying. And being the eldest son, I was concerned. And my mom was brushing away tears from her face and pushing her glasses out of the way. And I said, "Mom, why are you crying?" And she pointed to the TV and she said, "He's dead." "Who is?" And I looked at the screen and didn't recognize the person on the screen. He wasn't a TV star, wasn't a movie star, wasn't a soccer player. So I had no idea who he was. And then I listened and he said, "I have a dream that one day." And I was like, who is this man? And I became fascinated with the idea that a black Christian minister from the perspective of as a child, on the other side of the world, meaning in America, could talk in a way that would impact the heart and soul of my mother, who was a poor Jewish woman living in England, in northern England, was mind-blowing to me. And I began to study Martin Luther King and began to study Gandhi because of that as a kid. So that was the catalyst initially. So when other kids were watching cartoons and doing shit like that, I was not interested. I was watching documentaries and I was fascinated with philosophy and those kinds of things as a kid. And I was an artist and I painted, and my art was in galleries by the time I was 11. So I was very different in that way. By the time I was 14, on that path of being interested in things other people weren't interested in, it was a beautiful sunny day and my mom walked into the living room and she says, "Why aren't you outside?" Because she's supposed to be outside.
Right.
And I said, "Because I'm watching this." And she said, "What is it?" And I said, "It's a documentary." She said, "What is it about?" I said, "I don't know." She goes, "What do you mean you don't know? There's no speaking." And it was this beautiful documentary that was filmed over a period of 10 years, squished into an hour. And it was this journey of this girl who was traveling from the East Coast to the West Coast. And as she was traveling, it was made to look like 4 seasons, but it was actually over 10 years. So in this journey, you'd see her meet a man, and then they have a child, and then this child becomes a young kid with her. And my mom said, "Well, where is it?" And I said, "I don't know where it is." I said, "I think it's America." And she says, "Oh," and I said, "Yeah, I'm going to go live there at 14. And she's like, "Okay."
Yeah, whatever. You should go outside and play.
Take your pills now, son. Have a little lie down. And so I made the decision to leave at that time. And I was surrounded by friends my entire adolescence who were all saying, "Yeah, this place sucks. We got to get out of here." We're all saying the same thing. And so we were in the pub and we'd all sit around and we're all like, "It sucks. I'm going to get out." And I'd say, "Yes, I'm getting out." And they all were saying that, but I was doing it. And at 21, I turned up and said, "I'm done." And they're like, "Where are you going?" I go, "I'm out of here." "You can't leave." I'm like, "I'm done." And that was when I began to leave. And it was that understanding that we psychologically, human beings, are driven to fit in. We need our tribe.
Yeah.
But what I know is fitting in doesn't work. What I know is in order to fit in, I must repress and suppress parts of my being. I'm not willing to do that. I don't want to fit in. I want to belong. There's a difference. There's nothing to be pushed down in a belonging. There's plenty of room for me to spread my wings and breathe my fire and be the dragon that I am and help other people to find the fire within them. That was what drove me. And when I went back 4 years later, all the guys sat around the bar and they're all sitting around and they said, there was always something different about you. And it was that drive. It was that commitment to have something bigger than my environment. And I know you had a very similar experience. That was one of the things we had in common.
Because, it's great to go back, to the old neighborhood and on one level, see people that you knew, that you grew up with, but it saddens me as well, because in the same number of years, same time period that I've been traveled around the world as you have, they have traveled around the block. And
Yes.
you go, wow, yes, there was, you're right. Everybody said they wanted to get out, but not everybody meant it. Not everybody did what was necessary. And you're right. They want to feel like they're part of a group and stay in that comfort zone. And as long as all of us are here, man, hey, why leave? We can just pretend that we want to leave and complain.
Well, they also want to keep you there, not because they're horrible people. So let me please understand this.
Right.
Very often the biggest anchor around your ankles is your own family. Not because they don't love you, but because in their mind they're keeping you safe by keeping you close.
Yep.
And if you leave, they have to question their reality.
Exactly.
That's the problem. So that's why they discourage you. And when they discourage you, you need to take that as power, as force, as fuel to say, oh, they're just protecting their reality. I'm going to move forward.
And as proof positive that you should go. Because,
Absolutely.
the world is out there for you.